All right, working through knowledge check 7.3.2.4, which is focused on matrices. So the first one is check out the built-in VA deaths data matrix. So let's go ahead and we see as we're typing this, we get a data set that pops up, VA death rates in Virginia in 1940. So we can go ahead and let's take a look at that. We see we have a matrix that's actually named, right? So the columns and the rows have names to them. So that is something that we can do. We can name the columns in the rows of a matrix, and we can use that information when we do some subsetting or indexing. All right, so the next step says subset this matrix for only male deaths. All right, so to do this, let's go ahead and get our deaths out. And remember, we subset the matrix with bracket notation. So basically within bracket notation, we say what rows do we want, and that's before the comma, and what columns do we want, and that's after. So we actually want to get all the rows, but we just want the male deaths. And we can see that the columns is what contains our males, our females for rural and urban. So what we are actually looking for are the males. So what I can do is take the names of these and I can put them in quotes. So I want the rural male and I want the urban male. And now when I run that, I see I get a matrix as an output that has all the rows, but I'm just getting two columns, and that's the two male columns. All right, so the next step was subset for male death rates over the age of 60. All right, so we want male death rates, right? And we got the male death rates before. But now we actually want a subset for those that are over the age of 60, and the age range is what's in the rows. So we're going to actually do some subsetting or indexing on the rows, right? And we can do the same thing that I did where I grab the names and I can do 60 65 to 69, and then the last one is 70 to 74. And if I run that, now I get the male death rates for those ages 60 and over, right? Another option is, I could always mix both numeric values for where the rows are or the columns are with the name value. So if I wanted to go ahead and just say, well, I want to get rows 3 through 5 here, I could go ahead and do that, 3 through 5, and then still use the names for the columns, and I run that and I get the same output. All right, the last step is calculate averages for each column and row. All right, so to do that, we have actually a call. This is the averages. So we have call means, and I can go ahead and pass my matrix into this function. And that's going to iterate over each column and compute the mean, and then return a vector back that has the values for each of the columns. And the vector can have named elements, and that's why you see rural male, rural female, urban male, and so on over each element. Now there is also a row means, and I can do that, and I can get the mean across each age group. We see we have ages 50 to 54 has an average death rate of 11.050, and I can't quite remember what that represents, but we have that for each of the rows.